Before we get into things, I just want to give a big thank you to Crea-ture for sending me a code for the LA DLC. I really appreciate it. Well, it is finally time. The Session Flow update and the new LA DLC is here. It is upon us. What was originally supposed to be an end of summer update ended up getting pushed to mid-October update, which then ended up as an end of October update, but we finally have it, and I'm going to quickly run through the patch notes of today's update. Then we're going to jump straight into the DLC and play it. And this is my first time playing it, so this will be my first impressions with this new update. So Goofy Stance finally has its own dedicated animations. All tricks and animations have fully mirrored to the Goofy Stance. Flow and Friction Pass, including revisions and updates to power slides, reverts, manuals, wheel grip settings, and the pump multiplayer option. Power slides are now aligned with the player direction upon completion, and the board reorientates to your initial direction upon stick release. Reworked the ability to control the depth of power slides, both front side and back side. We've added the ability to slalom between front side and back side power slides while staying in the power slide state. Reverts Pass, reverts will no longer over rotate upon completion, ensuring the player is aligned with the initial direction but on their opposite stance. Manuals, you can now land in manuals without all four wheels touching the ground. This applies to dropping off a ledge or grind into a manual, when performing a revert in a manual, when in a manual and changing direction 180 degrees. General board breaking, when your board breaks, you will now have the option to load a replacement from your inventory. Free content, welcome to Jacuzzi Unlimited. You can now find jacuzzi boards and apparel in your in-game skate shop. Socks, it's long overdue, but socks variants are finally in game. Socks are available in 2 styles with multiple heights and color variants of each style, and a bunch of bug fixes as well, quality of life fixes as well. And then we get a look at the new DLC, Welcome to LA. We get 6 new object dropper items. There's 10 variants of gym jerseys, 10 variants of gym shorts, 10 variants of football jerseys. Cargo shorts, there's 3 styles, 8 to 11 variants. And that is pretty much it, so let's just get straight into the game. Okay, before we skate the new map, I'm going to go through all the cosmetics that come with this DLC, and also some of the ones that come with the new update, including Jacuzzi Unlimited and the new socks. I will say, if you have mods installed, you might have some issues. I just went through a whole process of having to delete a bunch of save games and do a lot of issues that JL Nightmare helped me with, so thank you JL for helping me out. Alright, so first off, we're going to check out this new Jacuzzi Unlimited gear, which comes with the new update, so you don't need the DLC for this. You got this jacuzzi tee, this fish tee, and the I'm scared of smoking weed t-shirt. That's funny. I do like that t-shirt. A couple different variants of it as well. And then with the DLC, we also have these gym jerseys here and a few different variants like basketball jerseys. And we have these football jerseys, which look pretty cool, to be honest. I'm going to throw on the black one here. And then we also have these new cargo shorts with different variants, and then we have these gym shorts as well. Yeah, we'll go with those black camo ones. And of course, we finally have socks as well. So there's just plain white socks and striped socks with a few different variants of those as well. So you get black socks as well. So there's just plain white socks and striped socks with a few different variants of those as well. So you get black socks as well. Okay, this is actually me after I recorded this video. I didn't realize there's actually a sock height button here, and you can actually adjust these all the way up. You can have all these different heights of socks, which is actually a nice addition to be able to adjust them. And then if we head into skateboard gear, we should have some new Jacuzzi Unlimited decks as well. Yeah, so we got the fish one, we got the bunny lamp, and just a regular jacuzzi. And then we also have some new DIY objects as well that come with the DLC. Okay, so let's head over to the new DLC map, which is LA. Okay, cool. And here we are. Pretty much Venice Beach, kind of Santa Monica, thrown into one little spot. So right off the bat, we have the Santa Monica triple set. Very, very famous stair set. Pretty cool recreation. And then we have this, yeah, I don't know what to call this, man. It's kind of like a street league course of some sort. It's a very big street plaza. This is obviously, it has hints of the Venice Beach skate park. For the most part, it is just a completely kind of made up skate park plaza thing. So I think people who were wanting more street focused map are going to be pretty disappointed that this is basically just a skate park. We have the kind of small quarter pipe that's at Venice Beach. We have the big kind of curvy ledge as well. That's a staple at Venice. And then if we head down here, we have a little nod to the pit, which is an old school Venice Beach, LA skate spot that was destroyed years ago, but this is a little kind of callback to the pit. Okay, so there seems to be like an invisible wall right there, so you can't get too far down the beach. Okay, is this the end? I thought we were going to be able to gap over this. No, okay, this is the end of the map, so you don't really get much of the Venice promenade. All right, and let's get pushing. So first things first, I want to test out power slides. Kind of one of the main things that got updated, and they feel pretty good. So if you watch the controller overlay, you'll see that when I do a power slide, the game just automatically brings it back for you. So you don't have to do it yourself anymore, so that's kind of nice. Feels a lot smoother, and you're not going to bail as often. But if you like power slide to revert, it feels pretty smooth, just better than it used to be. And then we also have, obviously, the new manis as well, so we can now, like, pop into a mani with, like, tapping, which is a big improvement. Get a tail slide and get a tray flip on the bank here. Still hate that camera. I mean, kind of lip tricks and stuff pretty much feel the same. I guess they're a little easier to do with the new kind of reverts, but they feel alright. Okay, that was pretty clean. So I'm noticing when I capture my front foot, it lands at a nose manual a lot more often. I'm not really sure why that is. Very odd. You don't really get a lot of run up here, do you? Okay, nice 50-50, and I want to get like a kickflip crook. Completely missed that crook. Let's try that again. Alright, that was nice. Tray flip. Again, I keep landing on the nose for some reason. I feel like shove-its seem a little more consistent. Let's try a manual at the top of this. Oh, that's so much smoother. Yep, manis are so much smoother. Oh, that was a little bit glitchy there, but let's try that again. Just a regular mani. Oh yeah, that's a big improvement. I will say that. That is a very big improvement for a kickflip nose mani. That was really clean. Yeah, that is so much cleaner now. So much nicer looking. So the physical animations, I don't think have had any changes. The grinds still look weird in your kind of character's arms. Yeah, as you can see there in like lip slides especially, it just looks unnatural. That has been a problem since the physical animation update, and yeah, it looks like that's here to stay, unfortunately. Alright, this is kind of enough of skating the pit ledges. Let's just head into the main part of the park, I guess, since this is pretty much just a skate park map. Actually, you know what? We got the Santa Monica triple. We'll get some tricks down the triple set first. I am quite disappointed that this isn't a more street-focused LA map, because there's so many spots in LA that they could have went for and they could have put in this map. The fact that they just opted for like an SLS course, but with the kind of theme of LA, I don't know, the whole Venice Beach part seems more like a facade than anything, just to be able to set the skate park somewhere interesting. Nice big spoon. Alright, let's just head into the park here and just try and get some lines. So we'll just start up here and see what we can do. I have to say though, for a vanilla fit, this looks pretty good. So I think that the new clothing additions are quite nice. It's a shame that a lot of them are locked behind a DLC though. I don't know why I keep doing like awkward kind of landings. I don't know if that's just me or it's the game. Also, the freckle on the back of the leg is an interesting choice. Okay. That was pretty smooth. Smith. Nice. Feeble. Never mind. This map is very rail heavy. It's just a bunch of rails and ledges. Really giving SLS course vibes. I know some people have probably been wanting more skate parks in session, but I kind of feel like the last DLC, which was the Prague DLC, which is one of my favorite DLCs, I kind of feel like that was essentially a skate park map. It was basically one big DIY skate park. So it kind of feels like we've got two in a row, I'm not gonna lie. Try and do a little speed check. I feel like that didn't really slow me down much, but it is a lot smoother, which I appreciate. It's nice to not have to manually rotate my board back to being straight on a power slide. I know, I'm sorry, too many back threes. Back feeble? Alright. We have kind of more of the spots here from the pit with these benches and stuff. Little stair set there. Stair set there. Tray flip Smith. That was kind of crazy, but it was sketchy as hell. This is a cool little ledge. That was nothing. I will, however, change this to like a sunrise. Oh, now that looks nice. One thing that Session has always done well is the lighting. The lighting on the maps always looks really good. A little wally there. Let me know if this like landing into nose minus is a me problem or if it's the game. If you guys have been experiencing this as well, let me know, but it could just be me and my settings. I honestly don't know. Yeah, so it definitely feels more stiff in a way, I think, because I feel like the way they counteracted the board from touching the back wheels in a manual was like make it kind of snap into position when you're doing a mani input. Yeah, see what I mean? Like, that felt very much like it just snapped into place. That feels like a skate manual. Like, one of the issues I have with skate is that manuals don't have any wobble. It doesn't look like your character's actually balancing. They just kind of are stationary. And it's kind of what I'm getting here. This is very stationary. And I'm happy that the manuals now don't tap. That's really good. But that one felt a little bit better. That was very clean. Oh, nice. So we can now also drop out of grinds into manuals. Okay, nice. That's pretty smooth. I kind of feel like this new map is going to get old pretty soon because there's only so much you can do going back and forth on the same course. The street focus maps definitely kind of allow you to get a little bit more creative. Because it feels like a competition, like an SLS course, they're very restrictive. You can't get very creative on those kind of courses because they're built very specifically for certain types of skating. Whereas street maps, street spots, you can really kind of use your imagination a bit better. Things that are built specifically for skating are just inherently, I think, less fun than things that aren't built for skating. I feel like the kind of replayability of this map isn't really there unless you really love courses and you really love skate parks and plazas. Turning in the air definitely feels a lot smoother, I will say that. That's something I've just kind of noticed. If you actually use the analog sticks to turn in the air, like, that is so much smoother. Alright, let's get something on this. Tray flip nose blunt. Oh man, landing into that nose manual is horrible. Okay, I actually want to switch to Goofy and see just how it looks. Let me just try and get used to the way it feels in Goofy. So, yeah, so this is now official Goofy stance. It doesn't look switch anymore. Cool, I mean, I feel like I don't really notice much of a difference. But obviously, it is the same animations as regular. Damn, anti-fur kind of rips, man. As a regular session player, this doesn't really change much for me personally, but it's good to see this finally be in the game. They could have added the Santa Monica curbs, could have added just some of the ledges that are around that kind of area. There's some nice ledges. Let's actually throw out some of the new object dropper objects while we're here. So we have this, which we were just skating in the skate park, which to be fair, this is quite a nice little object on its own. We have the kind of the picnic bench. We have this as well. Kind of looks like cheese. The quarter pipe, and then we have this as well, another one of these. It's always nice to get some new object dropper stuff, to be honest. Nice back Smith. That was clean. Big hard flip. I'm pretty sure I've covered everything that this update brought and also everything that the DLC has to offer. So the DLC comes in at the usual price for kind of smaller DLC, which is just under $10. I mean, if you're into courses, if you're into like kind of competition courses, plazas, skate parks, you might really love this map. And of course, you do have the pit ledges as well, and you have the Santa Monica triple set, but it's kind of it for LA inspired spots, because the rest of it is just a skate park. But if you want more skate parks in the session, you might really like this DLC. If you're looking for more street spots, this might not be for you because there's really not a lot of street here. Obviously, the kind of clothing gear that you get in the DLC is pretty nice, some nice additions. So if you want some more customization, maybe you might get the DLC just for that. I think the addition of Jacuzzi Unlimited in this update was a nice surprise. It's good to see them. It's a shame we only have 3 t-shirts and 3 decks. Of course, there's socks as well. And in terms of the update itself, I think the update is actually pretty solid. There is a lot of improvements across the board. Power slides feel so much better, and I'm very, very glad about that change. Manuals are improved drastically as well. It's great to actually be able to land smoothly into a manual without tapping those back wheels or those front wheels. Yeah, I really appreciate that. It's a good change. It's a little bit weird sometimes, and I don't like that every time I seem to catch a tray with my front foot, it for some reason goes straight into a nose mani. Yeah, I think overall the update is pretty solid, and I think overall the game is just feeling a little bit more polished. It's not going to completely change the way Session feels. If you were hoping for like a game changer update, you haven't really got that here. I don't think that's ever really going to happen at this point, but they are improving the game little by little with each update, and I appreciate that a lot. And it's good to see these kind of things getting fixed. But I will definitely spend more time with this update and with this DLC, and we'll see if my opinions change over time. And we do have another update on the horizon, the Skate Core update, which has the Skate Core overhaul and in-game social features. That is coming in autumn, so that should be coming pretty soon, especially considering this update was quite delayed. But I would say that update is also probably going to get delayed at some point. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of this new update. Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying the new DLC? Maybe you haven't got the new DLC. Thanks again to Crea-ture for sending me a code for the DLC. I really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, that is it for me, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.